Spot's kind of covered in snow. Don't really think I'm gonna find any place better, so let's see if I can clean it up because I haven't skated in another couple weeks and I am just dying to be on my board again.
Come tend the garden with me. We have so
It's not too bad. At least I got a little bit cleared. So let's warm up, see if it's even possible.
We were having the time of our lives when we started. Everything was groovy, but I'm noticing lately we've been half-hearted. West Side Story don't feel pretty anymore. Well, we spent the bulk of our days feeling free, like we were properly stoned. Do you liked everything but the likes of me? I can't help but recall. We were having the time of our lives when we started. Everything was groovy, but I'm noticing lately we've been half-hearted. West Side Story don't feel pretty. West Side Story don't feel pretty anymore. We were having the time of our lives when we started. Everything was groovy, but I'm noticing lately we've been half-hearted. West Side Story don't feel pretty anymore. We were having the time of our lives when we started. Everything was groovy.
It is way too cold to film any type of talking head outside anymore. I feel like this winter is a lot colder and definitely way snowier than last year. But since it is right now while I'm recording this, it is January 14th, I've been thinking a lot about what I want to do this spring and this summer, what tricks I want to learn, what I want to improve, maybe what I want my focus to be for 2025 when it comes to skateboarding. And although working on a trick doesn't guarantee that I'm going to land it, there are 5 tricks that I want to consistently put effort into for 2025. One, because I would be stoked to land them, but also because I found that now that I'm working on more advanced tricks, warming up for those tricks with their slightly easier, like foundational aspects is actually a really good way to work on consistency while I pursue a new trick. For example, I really want to work on Casper to Caspers this year, consistently this time, and that gives me a great opportunity to try to land Caspers perfectly. Now I've gotten quite good at Caspers, keeping my front foot up off of the ground, but my back foot still often touches, so I think this is a good opportunity for me to try to get perfectly clean, no foot on the ground, nothing touching the earth whatsoever except the deck. I think it's a good opportunity for me to work on that specifically while I warm up for a Casper to Casper. And I'm actually coming, I think, pretty close to Casper to Caspers. I'm getting much better at keeping them under me as I work on them. And I really think it's a matter of putting in the reps at this point, getting just more consistent at keeping the Casper underneath me as it flips. And I have probably high hopes for this trick in particular. We'll just have to see what happens. The next trick I want to land is a kind of varial out of no-handed truck stand. And this is a big challenge for me because I'm just not very good at getting out of truck stand. I'm still pretty weak in my no-handed truck stand consistency, I would say, but that's what I really love about pursuing the no-handed truck stand varial out, because it will force me to work on the foundations And sometimes I need just a little extra motivation to work on a basic trick, and this is a good reason. For example, I refused to try any varials out today until I landed at least one solid no-handed truck stand back to bolts. In the future, I'll probably try to land more of them to bolts before I try the truck stand, or I'll probably alternate back and forth. I really enjoy doing that when working on new tricks, alternating between what I consider to be the foundational trick and the trick that I'm working on. That's probably the route I'll take this one. I didn't get to practice them today, but I do want to land M80s this year. I don't even know if I landed one last year. I landed at least one the year before, and then I really struggled to get them again. I think I really need to work more on the foundational kickflip to regular, and kickflip to fakie, which I started doing this fall before all of this snow came, but that's another thing I want. I'm gonna try to really get consistent at those two basics and then work my way up to the M80, hopefully so that it's not just a random land once a year and something that I can do more consistently. I'd really like to land that intentionally and well. Next we have the impossible, which I've made quite a bit of progress on recently throughout the last year. For me, the basic of an impossible is actually a pressure flip because it helps me keep my foot nice and low to the ground and follow through a little bit on that scoop to get the board to pressure in front of me. So for me, I want to warm up for impossibles by practicing like my favorite trick, the pressure flip. I think the impossible is going to be all about really trying to work on getting a consistent wrap. I've gotten much better at it, but I want a consistent wrap, just jumping off and not committing, and then once I can really get that down, I think it'll be much easier for me to just try to keep my front foot up. And finally, I want to consistently work on 360 flips this year. I've actually feel like I've shaken loose a lot of the understanding for the trick that I needed. I was getting some in the fall to kind of rotate beneath me. I've gotten better at keeping a 360 shove it, or actually doing a 360 shove it. And I think that the 360 flip in particular gives me a good chance to work on 3 tricks: the kick flip, the varial flip, and the 360 shove it. So trying to land all of those, or at least coming close to the 360 shove it, because that one is still quite new to me, gets me warmed up, I think, for really trying to work on a 360 flip, which is exciting because I would love to land, honestly, any of these tricks this year. I'm not going to try to put too much pressure on myself to definitely land them, but I will keep them in my notebook here and consistently practice them, and hopefully I can get either really close, land a couple, or keep trying. That is the nature of skateboarding. Nothing is really guaranteed except perhaps falling. But I'm really excited. I like approaching it this way. I like having goal tricks with a consistency practice kind of layered underneath them, and it makes me excited for 2025. I want to skate, I think, a little bit more this year. I think I was a little relaxed last year. I didn't get to skate as much as I wanted to, and now that winter is in full swing and it's been a really snowy winter and I have not been able to skate nearly as much as I did last winter, I'm feeling the itch to get out and skate. I really miss it. I really hate not being able to go out. I skated till my legs felt like jello today. Probably pushed it a little bit too far after such a long break, but excited I got out, and really excited to see what I can do in 2025 if I try. If you have any plans for 2025, do share them down below. Let's see if we can land some new tricks.